Hello everybody, this is AB Young Rome and this is my top 10 list of 2019, the top 10 movies of 2019. This is actually recorded pre-Oscars, on the eve of the Oscars, so we'll see the results of that. But yeah, this is my own individual list from a unique perspective. As hopefully you've heard my intro, this is so I am a ethnic minority of Indian and African descent. So I believe I have a unique view on movies. So yeah, these are my opinions, and you know, I hope these can help people understand ethnic minority point of views and things like that, and opinions on movies. So let's get to it. Okay, so I want to do my top 10 of 2019. Okay, so first I'm going to start with movies I haven't seen through one reason or another. Some of which I've seen, some I need to see, so I'm going to watch at home. Just haven't got around to some of these yet. So first one, kind of big movie I haven't seen is Ford v Ferrari. To be honest, I don't really like kind of F1, car racing movies. I'm not a massive fan, so I was a bit reluctant to see that, but I did see numerous good reviews in it. Then that movie is in a lot of people's top 5, so I will see it probably on home video when it comes out. But yeah, as of yet I haven't seen that. I also haven't seen Parasite. I believe it's getting a February release in the UK, but as of yet I haven't seen that. The Farewell, again, it didn't get a wide release in the UK. I have seen it once or twice pop up when I'm randomly looking at movie releases and listings for the week. I haven't got around to see it. It kind of popped up on a midweek showing in the middle of the day, you know, like on a Monday or a Tuesday, and I've just not got around to see it yet. Booksmart, it was a very early release. You know, being a guy, it didn't really interest me, but I've heard so many good things about that. I'll get around to that. Also, I've seen Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon, obviously the Shia LaBeouf movies. Again, I haven't got around to them. They didn't get a wide release in the UK, so I didn't really get to see that. Anyway, and to no further ado, I'll get to my top 10 list. So I will cover some honourable mentions. Sorry, before that, honourable mentions that I'd love to put in. Ad Astra. Okay, Ad Astra, very close to making number 10, but I didn't get around to that. Amazing effects in it. I love kind of deep space movies. Brad Pitt was awesome. Again, special effects were amazing. Love the story. Love the action that was in it. If there was a bit more action, it probably would have made the top 10, but unfortunately missed out. Toy Story 4 is another honourable mention. Toy Story 3 is arguably my favourite animation of all time. So Toy Story 4, I thought it wasn't needed when I watched it. I completely understand why it was done. It was really good. A bit more of a Buzz Lightyear, I think, would have made it crack the top 10. But wasn't enough of him, so obviously being a lead character, I was a bit disappointed with that. Fighting My Family was really good. Introduction of Florence Pugh, who's awesome. Family story, you know, grew up on watching wrestling as well, so really enjoyed that. Shazam was you know, a different take on a superhero movie. The family dynamic was really interesting. I love the kind of mythology that was created and the lore with the Honshu guy. Sorry, I forgot his first name. That was you know, interesting. I need to watch that again and maybe clip that out. That was awesome. Okay, so I have got a couple more that I have seen that didn't make the list, so I'm going to save that to later on. I'm going to call these the overrated section. So these are massive movies this year I thought were completely overrated and did not deserve to be in the top 10 list. And I don't know why these are so overrated. So I'm going to run through them. There's only a few of them. There's 3 actually. But I'm going to cover all of them as to why they're not in the list. Okay, so I'm going to get to the top 10 list now. So number 10 on my top 10 list is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Me, Quentin Tarantino is probably in my top 10 all-time directors ever. This is, I would class this as his worst movie, but it still makes my top 10 list. The ending, kind of the last half an hour, awesome. Exactly what we want from a Quentin Tarantino movie. you know, the action, the fantasy element of it, the writing, the humor, the just overall energy and craziness of it. Love that. Love their kind of intro to all the the characters and their history. It was a little bit long. The middle half of the movie, talking about Bounty Law, not talking about Bounty Law, but when they were kind of doing retake after retake of Bounty Law, I did get a little bit bored of that. But Brad Pitt, fully deserving of a supporting actor nomination. Hopefully he wins that. You know, he always gives a 7, 8, 9 out of 10 performance, so definitely should be rewarded for that performance. Number 9 is Dolomite Is My Name. Fantastic return by Eddie Murphy. I wish he worked more. I really wish he worked more. Arguably the best performance of his career, and this is one of my issues with the Oscars and nominations. And I personally think there's, you know, some kind of systemic racism in terms of nominations and things like that, rewarding people of colour, things like that. So, for example, someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, who is probably in my top 10 actors of all time, his performance was nominated for a leading actor. For me, it's a bang average performance in his career. Okay, he's easily done 10 better performances than this, yet he gets a Best Actor award. But someone like Eddie Murphy does a career best performance, doesn't even get nomination or anywhere near nominated. Someone like Jennifer Lopez as well. Imagine if Jennifer Lopez and Eddie Murphy were nominated for leading for leading actor and best supporting actress. How much more exciting and how much more attention and eyes would be on the Oscars. But instead, they want to give, you know, people like DiCaprio his 10th whatever nomination, or you know, Al Pacino his 10th nomination. Well, you could be giving people like Eddie Murphy a nomination. That would be a career-defining performance, things like that. Wesley Snipes was really good in it. Really funny movie as well, so that makes mine number 9. Number 8 is 1917. Really a dramatic, tense, unpredictable movie. Score was beautiful as well. Love the quieter scenes, you know, with the baby and all that. I loved the quieter scenes where kind of a dialogue was happening, then it'd be a dramatic action scene, they'd be on the run. The one shot thing was a little bit gimmicky for me. I mean, for me, it's quite clear where the edits are, and it took me out of the movie every time there was one of these awkward, not awkward, but trying to be too clever edits. But overall, yeah, quite enjoyed 1917, so that's number 8 for me. Number 7 was Dr. Sleep. Okay, Dr. Sleep. The Shining is probably my favourite all-time horror movie, along with The Thing. So a continuation on that was awesome. Not read the book, so I didn't really know what was happening or what was going to happen. But I love the lore that was kind of built around it. So I always, I loved The Shining, but I never really understood how it worked in terms of, the boy and the old man, they had a shine, but this strange kind of occurrences were happening at the Overlook Hotel. But I love how clear and the story was in Dr. Sleep, as in, there's other people that had the shining, and the way that they steal people's shines and to survive, and then the little girl that was introduced as well and her powers, and I love how the Overlook Hotel was the kind of battle setting of it all. Loved how they bring up the old characters back. Loved all that. Ending, I wasn't massively a fan of. I wish Danny Torrance survived, and could have even made another sequel of that. So. But overall, it's really good. Score was nice as well. Ewan McGregor is one of my favourite actors also. I'll pretty much watch anything that he does, so can't wait for the Obi-Wan series on a side note. Number 6, a bit of a controversial pick, but absolutely loved Aladdin. Loved it. This is the first movie in this list that I've seen more than once in the cinema, so I saw it twice. Loved it. Aladdin and Mulan are probably my 2 favourite all-time Disney, animations, let's say. So I was dreading watching it. Saw the trailers, was not at all impressed with Will Smith, but I did like the score in the trailers, and everything else looked amazing. I thought Aladdin looked great. I thought Jasmine looked great, and they actually, it paid off. Jasmine was awesome, complete babe, I thought. Her voice was amazing. I thought the Aladdin character was so good. Will Smith done a brilliant job, I thought, with what they had and the pressure that was on that performance. He done it justice in my eyes. So really kind of fun movie. I enjoyed it the second time as well. The songs were awesome. After the first time, I listened to the soundtrack for a solid week after that. I mean, loved it. So yeah, that's number 6. So number 5, it's probably the most recent movie I watched, is Uncut Gems. There was a lot of hype with this. It's Adam Sandler having a serious role, but it is by far his best ever role. Loved it. The whole thing was so dramatic, tense, thrilling movie. Like, it's such an easy to understand movie. Diamond or jewelry dealer has clear gambling problem. As you saw his family life, you saw he was involved with gangsters. It was such a fun movie. But the real kind of uncut gem in that movie was Julia Fox, the main, or the kind of one of the lead ladies. Again, complete babe. But she was so raw and interesting, and I thought she was cool. Adam Sandler was awesome. I loved the music and the way how crazy, like, even the opening credits were, and the way they'd go into kind of certain things, the surgeries and things like that, and showed the effects. Oh man, loved it. So Adam Sandler was cool as well. Yeah, it was awesome. The directors did an awesome job. I need to watch the other stuff as well that they've done. So yeah, I love that. So moving on swiftly to number 4, my 4th best movie of the year. Again, I've saw this twice. Okay, this is Joker. Wow, what a performance! I mean, I couldn't. Big comic book movie guy. Loved Batman. Watched the animated series. Seen all the movies, the comic books. But absolutely one of my favourite kind of superhero movies, and the villains around that as well. But wow, what a performance. Never seen anything like that in my life. So different. The score, this is my favourite score. I still haven't yet, but I'm probably going to get the soundtrack of this just to play it kind of when I'm driving, that kind of thing. Loved it, absolutely loved it. I was watching the interviews and I was a bit dreading it because I heard it's quite controversial movie, but don't know what all that hype was about. It was awesome. The way they kind of infused the whole Batman lore as well in it. I thought there wasn't going to be the kind of Batman and his Bruce Wayne family, the Wayne family, and I thought they weren't going to be in it too much, but they were fully involved in it. I loved how involved kind of the whole lore, the Batman lore was. So De Niro was really good in it as well. But wow, Joaquin Phoenix and his mother and just the whole society, just kind of I wouldn't say crapping on him, but the way how it dealt with mental health. It was so intelligent, man. I mean, it's working on a different level here with the Joker. So loved it. Number 3, again. So this is a bit of a biased opinion. I have seen. By the way, the second time I saw the Joker, I didn't love it as much. I'm not going to lie. The first time I was like, wow. Second time, I watched it with a kind of different friend group. I didn't like it as much, to be perfectly honest, but that's just on the side. Number 3, I'm a bit biased. But number 3 is The Rise of Skywalker. So Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Full disclaimer that Star Wars is my favourite. I class the original 3 movies as kind of one. So when I say Star Wars is my favourite movie of all the time, I'm a hardcore Star Wars fan. So Star Wars is number 3. I personally, I pretty much hate the movie before this, which is episode 8, The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker, for example, is probably my favourite all-time character. And the way they kind of, how dirty they did that character is doesn't sit right with me. People waiting 35 years to see what happened, to see Luke Skywalker on screen again, and what they made him to some old hermit. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I didn't speak for the rest of that evening after I saw that movie. I was in shock. But yeah, the way they tied up the sequel trilogy, they didn't tie up all 9 movies, but they tied up the sequel trilogy, the effects, some of the performances, Adam Driver. Oh my, I love that guy as as an actor. The Han Solo, scene, the reveals, the effects, the Emperor. I loved the music. Oh man, I just love being in that Star Wars universe. I didn't agree with everything they done, but with the hand that they were dealt with in the previous movie, I give respect to that. So well done, JJ, and the whole film of Lucas team. The whole whole of Lucas team. I loved it. So much passion there. It was really emotional as well. I did get teared up a few scenes there as well. When Han Solo appeared, when he talks to Ben and things like that. So absolutely loved it. Number 2, favourite movie of 2019. Number 2 is Avengers Endgame. So I was actually in India when I watched this, and that is an experience. People scream, shout, yell, run around in the cinema. Okay, when they see a hero, they do that in regular movies. This is a superhero movie with multiple heroes and villains. People were losing their minds. So I'm gonna upload this to YouTube as well, and I'm gonna try and insert a clip from a recording I made from that. Is absolutely crazy. That's enhanced the experience. I watched it on opening night, and wow, I definitely got teared up with same scenes as everyone did. The Captain America lifting Mjolnir scene, and obviously Tony Stark as well. But yeah, the way they done it, I mean, the time flies by. So much they covered, so many throwbacks to the movies. Absolutely loved it. So rewatchability is fantastic on that. You can stick on at any point. It's so engaging. I love Infinity Wars. I can't pick between the two, which is the better movie. Maybe for rewatchability is Infinity War, but impact and tying up storylines and things like that, I definitely love Endgame. And the score, oh my god. The score is, the main Avengers theme, it does something to me. Absolutely love it. So emotional. But number 1, before I get to my number 1, actually, I want to just quickly mention 3 what I call overrated movies. So these are movies that are in so many people's top 10, but I don't know why. They're so overrated. So number 3 in my overrated movie is Knives Out. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I if I was to rate out of 10, I'd say 6. 6 out of 10. It's like Agatha Christie. It's a Columbo style movie. It's like a Clue. Did really some scenes really well. Fantastic cast. That Anna De Armas, she's so cute. Nice to see Chris Evans in a different role. Lakeith Stanfield, I really liked in it as well. But again, he was amazing in Uncut Gems as well and Get Out, so I'm looking out for him. But yeah, it was so. I thought it was predictable, and it's unbelievable as well. The things that the main character pulled off, and the twists weren't that surprising. But the way it's been hyped up. By the way, I'm not against Rian Johnson as well. Looper is wow. What a movie. I absolutely love Looper, but Knives Out, it was just so average. The way it's hyped up, I don't really understand. Anyway, that's number 3. So number 2 of my overrated movies, again, that hasn't made my top 10 list, is The Irishman. Oh my god, the amount of hype that was on this movie. It's so boring. They're just sitting down, talking as old men, going back and forth in time, and they don't look any younger. They don't even look like how they did when they were young, and the effects are not great, and it was so boring. They've all done better performances, they've all done better movies. It's like, why is this getting so much hype? It's actually boring. I remember stopping it because I've had enough, and it was boring. And it was about 90 minutes in, and I saw there was another 2 hours left. I remember I went out for about half an hour, came back, watched the rest, and I was glad I watched the rest. But again, I'd give that a 5 or 6 out of 10. It's a very boring movie. But the number 1 in before I get to my number 1 on my top 10 list, number 1 most overrated movie of 2019, and no way makes my top 10 list, is by far is Jojo Rabbit. Wow. The amount of hype on this movie is... Why? Okay, I'm being perfectly honest, I fell asleep. I fell asleep in this movie for about 3 minutes. I'm kind of working out for, is when the Stephen Merchant character popped up. Around that time, and then I kind of woke up, and it was just before the shoe scene. That is, the kid is really good, but any scene that wasn't involving an adult, so when it was the boy and the girl in the house, I thought was so boring. I actually thought, I know this, the screenplay's been nominated, but I thought it was so boring. I thought the dialogue was so basic. The Hitler character was cringe. Sam Rockwell loved him. Loved it. Again, he's like a Ewan McGregor. I watch anything that they'll do. Scarlett Johansson's had a fantastic... You look at the year that she's had. Again, she was okay, but I don't know why is she nominated for that? She's so much better in the other movie, which I'm going to come to. Hint, hint. But yeah, again, but just to clarify, Scarlett Johansson, brilliant year she's had. Jojo Rabbit, Avengers, Endgame, and obviously my number one, which I'll come to in a second. And she's obviously got Black Widow coming out, which is awesome as well. But wow, what a massively overrated movie. Again, I'd give that 4 or 5 out of 10. That was very boring movie. They had some nice scenes in it, yeah, and the boy is a bit of a revelation, but why is that people's number one? Why? It's not that. Wow, okay. Anyway, I think that them three, Knives Out, Jojo Rabbit, and The Irishman, are very American-oriented, I think, targeted audiences. So, yeah, I mean, they're all watchable, but I'm not rushing back to watch any of them again. But my number one movie of 2019 is Marriage Story. Saw this trailer. So Adam Driver is he's in that bracket of favourite working actors at the moment, along with Ewan McGregor, along with, as I mentioned, Sam Rockwell. But wow, the guy is so talented. Like, why can't all actors be like this? Like, he brings his physicality, his mannerisms. He's so good. The writing was awesome. Oh, the music, man, the music. I think Joker is my favourite score, but wow, the music is so emotional. The story, I mean, I would never, ever, ever watch this trailer think that's a good movie, but I saw so many reviews on it. It's such a relatable story, about the kind of parents, about the kid, about the other characters, the side characters like Laura Dern's character and the other lawyers. They were amazing. So for me, Laura Dern, yes, I completely understand if she wins Best Supporting Actress, but she wasn't in it enough, personally, for me to fully back that. But her performance was great still. Yeah, it was so emotional, and the acting was kind of next level. That was by far the amazing writing. Even the editing I thought was really good in that as well. It stands out. The score, the score is so good that it takes you out of the movie in a good way to say, wow, like that's so, it invokes emotion, and it's the creativity on it is beautiful. So yeah, I mean, absolutely love the Marriage Story. I didn't think at all I'd like it, but wow, what a movie. So anyway, that is my top 10 list. So quick rundown of my top 10. Number 10, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 9, Dolomite Is My Name. Number 8, 1917. Number 7, Doctor Sleep. Number 6, Aladdin. Number 5, Uncut Gems. Number 4, Joker. Number 3, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Number 2, Avengers Endgame. And number 1, my favourite movie of 2019 is Marriage Story. Okay guys, so I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel as well. That's AB Young Rome. Please check out my other content on there. Like, subscribe. So yeah, I'm going to start kind of sharing this and being more active on my pages. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do obviously more videos on all kinds of pop culture stuff, sport, particularly football, particularly boxing, things like that, other movies. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Absolutely love recording this. But yeah, any feedback, any messages you want to give me, any comments, it's all welcome. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. A little bit of a long video, but I wanted to put my opinions out there. So anyone who's listening, yeah, thanks, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon.